Hi, I'm Jennifer, and I'm so excited you're here because today I'm going to be making a wonderful recipe. It is a delicious pumpkin bread recipe. This is a very special recipe because it's my daughter's very famous special pumpkin bread. I can't wait to put it together myself and see just how it turns out. I truly hope it is as good as the pumpkin bread that she always makes us when my husband and I go visit her in Arizona. I always thought that I would be teaching Sarah how to cook and bake. I never dreamed that she would show me how to make some wonderful, new, creative, inventive, and wonderful recipes. I always enjoy going to visit her because she always puts the very best meals together and the very best desserts. She's a wonderful cook and a wonderful baker, and I really enjoy spending time with her and sharing recipes. Before we get started putting our pumpkin bread together, I wanted to show you this beautiful Nordic ware pan. This pan is really nice and it has a beautiful pumpkin and acorn and pine cone design on the bottom. You can purchase this pan on Amazon, and I wanted to make sure I pointed it out so at the end when you see the beautiful design on my pumpkin bread, you'll be able to know where I got this beautiful pan. So I'll link this below for your convenience if you'd like to get a Nordic ware pan just like this one. Now with this type of pan, we don't want to put a bunch of cooking sprays and things in it. So we're going to actually just use some melted butter, and I'm going to brush this in with the melted butter. That way I can get it in all of the little details and all of the little nooks and crannies in this pan. Our pan is all buttered, and this will also help at the end too when it's time to clean this pan. It has so many nice little details inside, and we want to make it easier to clean as well as having it not stick. Now let's get working on this recipe. I'm going to go ahead and add the flour. I'll have the full recipe listed below so that you can easily put this together as well. I'll put the flour in, the baking soda, the pumpkin pie seasoning, the cinnamon, and the salt. Just take a whisk and mix these dry ingredients up together. It smells wonderful between the pumpkin pie seasoning and the cinnamon. It smells wonderful already. I can't imagine how good this is going to smell when it comes out of the oven. Now just set the dry ingredients aside. The next thing we're going to do are whisk the eggs, the brown sugar, and the white sugar. Just whisk them all up really good together. Now we're going to add in our pumpkin, our oil, our vanilla, and the milk. We'll get this all incorporated together. It just takes a second to mix that up, and then go ahead and get your dry ingredients. We'll want to put the dry ingredients right into the wet ingredients. This recipe is great. It mixes up so easily. You don't even need to get out any kind of a mixer. All you do is just take a spatula, a wooden spoon, anything you want, anything you have on hand, and it mixes tremendously easily. You don't have a really tough batter to deal with. Okay, there we have it. Our batter is all ready. We have only one more thing to do to make this pumpkin bread extra special. My daughter's recipe calls for chocolate chips. I love chocolate chips with pumpkin, but they're completely optional. And I have about 1/4 cup of flour here, all-purpose flour, and I'm going to put the chocolate chips into the flour, and I'm just going to toss them until they're completely coated. And what this is going to do is coat the chocolate chips with the flour, and that way when we put it into the recipe, the chocolate chips won't sink all the way to the bottom of the bread. They'll stay all evenly distributed because the flour will hold them in place, and they'll stay right where we want them in the pumpkin bread mix. There we go. Just pour them in, flour and all, and then just start folding them. I'm just going to fold them lightly right into the batter. Just turn your bowl and just carefully lift and turn all of the chocolate chips right in. I'm using dark chocolate chips, but you could use any kind you'd like. You could use semi-sweet or milk chocolate. You could even add nuts to this recipe and just fold them in at the end the same way we did the chocolate chips. Okay, there we have it. Now it's time to get this into our pan and we'll put it in the preheated oven. Since I'm using a pan with a pattern on the top, I'm going to put just a small layer in to begin with, and then I'm just going to use my spatula and press it down, making sure I get all of the pumpkin bread into the designs in the bottom of my loaf pan. And then I'll go ahead and add more pumpkin bread to the top. I'll just give this some taps on the bottom to make sure that everything has gone into all of the little details in the bottom of our pan. And now we're off to the oven. The oven is preheated and ready, and now we're going to take our pumpkin bread and put it right into the oven at 350 for about 55 to 60 minutes, depending on your oven, until a toothpick comes out clean. I just took the pumpkin bread out of the oven and it smells absolutely magnificent. I can't wait to try it. And this is how the wonderful, delicious, homemade pumpkin bread turned out. I have to say my pumpkin bread turned out just as good as the one that Sarah always makes us. She always makes it with love, and I had such a wonderful time putting this recipe together. It reminds me just of her. It is absolutely delicious, and we really, truly enjoyed it. I would be so happy if you subscribe, hit the notification bell, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, and I'll see you next time.